So I'll now request Malekar Saab to speak on the issue.
Shalom, Namaste. As you know, in the Bible, in the first book of Genesis, it is mentioned that God created human being in his own image. Therefore, our body is the temple of soul, and it is our moral duty to see that there is not only the sanctity in the place of worship, but at the same way we must see that our body is very sound, and Judaism believes that health means not only the physical health but the mental, physical and spiritual well-being. Because you may say you are very healthy, but I say no, you are not healthy, because if there is a mental depression, absence of disease does not amount to that you are a healthy person. I have seen, because my experience in the Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, Lady Harding College, and I am a spiritual master, there are many healthiest persons. They come, we do not suffer from any disease. But nowadays, that mental depression and mental stress, why youngsters are bound to commit a suicide? Because they do not fare well in the examination. The young generation, why they are addicted to the drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, tobaccos, even the addiction to the mobile phones. You know, every child in the school, he carries the mobile phone. What is the effect of that on his health? So I'm more worried about the mental health. So how to overcome? And when we talk about the food, not only the religion means the spirituality. Because as a child, I know that when I used to go to school, my mother used to give me the chapati, sabji. Of course, I don't like to have the sabji. So she used to give me the banana or dates. Now the parents are giving to the children, take 100 rupees, go and have the pizza and a burger and the cold drinks. And that is very, when we talk about the food is not only the food which we eat. As Dr. Sunilji said, that what our body and mind absorbs through the five senses, what we see, our children see on the television, all these rotten things, that is idiot box, the serials, the not of non-violence, sex, that creates a negative attitude. He is not able to go to sleep. There are many persons in this auditorium, they are not able to go to sleep unless and until they take the sleeping pills for the tranquility. Because when we talk about the diet, we must think about the sleep, how many hours sleep is required, when to take the heavier food, whether to be in the afternoon, not in the evening, even banana. So when I was in Hyderabad, Hakim told me, if somebody gives you banana or you want to eat banana in the morning, उसको सोने की अशरफिया दे दो. अगर दोपहर में खाना है तो चांदी की अशरफिया दे दो, और शाम को अगर कोई मुफ्त में दे उसको मत खाओ. तो what is that? What is the scientific reason for that? So in Judaism, that we believe that mental, physical and spiritual well-being is very, very important. And I may differ that in Judaism, as in Hinduism I have seen, of course I don't eat my food sitting on the chair. I sleep on the floor. I take my food sitting on the floor, because the gravity, power of gravity. If you are not able to eat food, you have that digestive power, appetite is very poor. From today onwards, you sit on the floor and see, you are going to eat 2 chapatis more. And when you sit, we say the prayers. Why we say the prayers? Because, I am so much influenced by Hindu culture, though I am a Jew. I am the rabbi, I am the priest of the synagogue. When we sit, I witness so many Hindus, weddings, they will ask you to sit on the floor, and they will have the rangoli, and they will say the prayer, then they will take the water in their hand, 4 sides, they will sprinkle it. Why? Just to drive away the evil spirits. Similarly, in Judaism, we have the prayers. Every food we eat, every fruit we eat, there is a prayer. but that prayer has to be said from core of your heart. And one of the poets said, जो मुख से गाते हैं उसे गीत कहते हैं, जो कंठ से गाते हैं उसे वंदना कहते हैं, और जो हृदय से गाते हैं उसे प्रार्थना कहते हैं. So say the prayer, but say from core of your heart, thank God, because in India there are millions and millions of people, they do not get a square meal. There is starvation deaths. How much food we are wasting? Anybody is given thought to it? Go to the wedding receptions. How many food? Tons of food are being thrown in the dustbin. Because that is the greatest crime. So all religious leaders should come with this, that waste of food is a crime. In Judaism, in the book of Esther, that is in the Old Testament, the India is mentioned. Ahasuerus ruled from Ethiopia to Hodu. India is mentioned there, and there was a trade of spices between India and Israel. Those days, Palestine. So there is the mention about the cumin, mint, garlic, onion, coriander, cinnamon, fruits, spices, nuts, almonds, grapes, pomegranates, figs, olive, corn, raisins are mentioned in the Old Testament of the Bible. Of course, about the kashrut, that we are been allowed to eat only though I am the priest of the synagogue, unfortunately, I am not allowed to do 2 acts by my children. They are 100% vegetarians. I am proud of them, and they are considered themselves more than a Brahmin Pandit. We are not allowed to cook any non-vegetarian food in our house. If I want to eat it, I go outside and quietly eat it without their knowledge. And they say you will not perform 2 acts. One is the circumcision, and second is the slaughtering of the animals. This is only जीव नहीं है. Why you want to mercilessly kill those animals? But in our religion, we are only allowed to eat certain animals having the cloven hooves, and then which cuts the chew, and the fish also. But fish also, especially meat, because blood is considered as a life. Every drop of blood has to be drained out. So when we get the meat, we soak in water with salt. Every drop has to be drained out, and it is strictly prohibited to have the dairy products after the meat. They say if you have it, if you want to have a cup of tea, have the black tea. And this I have observed when I was working in the Leukodharma Institute in Hyderabad, that many families from the Middle East countries, they have been suffering from vitiligo, leukodharma, and one of the cause was that they used to take the meat with the curd or with the milk, and that is one of the causes for causing the leukodharma. Then of course fasting, we have been fasting. My article appeared about a fortnight back in the Times of India Speaking Tree, the joy of fasting. Like Muslims also, we fast, and we fast for 40 days. And we are only allowed to take food only once a day after the sunset. We are not even allowed to have a drop of water during the whole day. Our fasting began on the last month, 20th of August, and it will go on till Yom Kippur, till the 25th of September. Of course, it is said that when you have the water should not be taken immediately after having your meals. You should not take food while standing, because children now they take the food while standing, drink water while standing. Then it is said that even the fish, you should not have the fish during the months which does not have the R, right from May to August. May, June, July, August, that month does not have the R. So that, yeah. And you must have the seasonable fruits, vegetables, and fasting is very, very important because it purifies your mind and soul as well as your physical this thing. And one should not eat curd in the dinner. And how many times you should eat? You should eat only heavier food in the afternoon. Evening you must take the food before the sunset. And of course the white sugar. Dr. Agarwal, in Judaism, when we say the prayer on Sabbath, we say the prayer over the bread and the salt. So salt is very, very important in Judaism, and but that's all.
Thank you, Malekar Saab. We got very good points. I think we're going to come back in the discussion when we start. I'll now request Shri J.S. Jolly ji on Sikhism, and then we will have Pragya ji on Jainism before we start the discussions.
My viewpoint on diet and health will be related to Sikhism as far as the injunctions which are given in the Sikh scripture, that is the Guru Granth Sahib, and whatever injunctions are given over there, I shall speak according to that and not according to the prevalent practices among the Sikhs. So fundamentally, a human being is composed of three parts: body, mind and soul. And the body, just like the body is the physical aspect, it is the grosser element and it is dependent upon the subtle mind. Just like the physical gadgets are dependent on the invisible current, in the same way, our gross, the health of our body, the functioning of our body depends upon the subtle mind, and the mind is dependent upon the soul. So all the injunctions which are given as far as Gurbani is concerned is related to the soul, and it speaks about the spiritual evolution of the person. The first injunction is that we should take good care of our body because it is a temple of God. Nanak soprab simri hai, tis dehi ko pal. We should nurture this body well. A person should not overeat and oversleep. Alap ahar, sulabh si nindra, daya chima tan preet. Then also, cursed is that life in which one only eats to fill his belly. Fit ehveha jivya jit khai vadhaya pet. Jeta moha preet swad sabba kalak daga dag. If we have we are inclined towards more sensual gratification, it will end into a curse for us. As far as the fasts, keeping fasts are concerned, Gurbani doesn't believe in keeping fast. Neither it believes in observing lot of rituals. So there is a line which says puja, vart, tilak, ishnana. Ishnana means the cleansing baths which are normally performed by various religions on specific days. Puja, vart, tilak, ishnana, pun, dan, bahdain, kahuna pijay, sanjam swami, bole meethe bain. God is not pleased with all the rituals or keeping fasts or going to various pilgrimages for taking bath. What is essential is to keep our minds clean, and that can happen only with continuous remembrance of the lesser sweets that we eat, various kinds of diseases. As far as the non-vegetarian food is concerned, Gurbani says that we should not wrangle over whether we should eat meat or we should not. So there is a line by Guru Nanak Dev Ji that says, "Mas kar मूर्ख झगड़े, ज्ञान ध्यान नहीं जाने." So without wisdom and contemplation, we fight over the question of meat. But as a person evolves spiritually, there are injunctions, definite injunctions which are given, which says that a person becomes a vegetarian as he evolves spiritually. Like, you know, the saying of Kabir ji, Kabir खूब खाना खिचड़ी जामे अमृत लोन, जिसमें नमक है, हीरा रोटी कारने गला कटावे कौन. To eat meat, why should I eat meat and get my throat slit? Because this is a law of karma, that whatever you do to the animals is done back to you. Then also we should not read religious scriptures, and at the same time we should be involved in hurting animals. Ved pade, mukh meethi bani, jiyan kuhat, na sange prani.
Can you just clarify about meat again in one line, that yes or no?
You see, again, it cannot be said in one line, yes or no. If a person is evolving spiritually, he will turn to vegetarian diet,
okay.
But it is not prohibited.
It is not prohibited.
Yes. And finally, as some of our distinguished speakers also have said before, that in 2 lines, Guru Nanak Dev Ji has clarified his opinion about eating, and that is, Baba, hor khana khushi khwar, जित खादे तन पीड़िए मन में चले विकार. We should avoid that food which brings suffering to a body, and then it creates evil currents in our mind. So now this can be a universal law. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's give a big hand. In the religion, we have Jainism, and we invite Samani Pragya ji to talk about Jainism. Obviously, Jainism will have some stricter rules as far as diet is concerned, and let's listen to them.
Thank you, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan and Healthcare Foundation for giving us this opportunity. Jainism is one of the ancient religion of this world, coming through from thousands of years. And basically the core principle of this religion is non-violence, ahimsa. So there it talks about wherever there's a minimization of violence, that is preferable for anyone to adopt such kind of lifestyle. Regarding the food and diet, definitely Jains are vegetarian. Basically many of them are lacto-vegetarian. Where the dairy products it's allowed to take, but now because of this animal cruelty which is happening overall for taking out the milk and such kind of things, many Jains are turning into vegans, and such kind of things are definitely prohibited. For example, taking alcohol or any kind of beverages or any kind of drugs which pollutes our mind and contaminates our spirituality. Because spirituality is the basic fundamental factor of Jainism, where they talks about if anything distorts my emotions mainly like those kind of negative emotions, if they are activated by such kind of food, that should be prohibited completely. So after all, the purpose is like to have a pure emotions, pure mind, pure body, and that leads a person to achieve moksha, nirvana, or whatever the word we can call upon, where the soul can be freed from all kinds of bondages. That's the main motive of it. And for fasting, definitely Jains prefer to do a lot of fasting and during the rainy 4 months, Chaturmas, they call it for the 4 months, which is running through now. It starts from June, July and ends up to October, November. And I have seen many of the Jains, they do fasting for 30 days, 60 days, 120 days. And those fastings are with taking only water, only during the daytime, but not after the sunset. So normally the 1 day fast, it starts for example, I have to do tomorrow the fasting. It starts from the sunsets today itself, and tomorrow complete the whole day, 24 hours, until day after tomorrow morning when the sun sets up. So it's more than 36 hours fast. And probably the purpose is like it purifies and taking out all the contaminations and toxins out of the body. So scientifically, it's also very proven up. I have seen one of the person, he is a non-age Jain, but he did fasting for more than 300 days, taking only water or maybe sometime occasionally some kind of cool drinks or like that, such kind of stuff. And he said by having a kind of a practice of meditation in the morning when the sun rises, it automatically quenches our hunger, our thirst, and all the basic requirements and demands of the body. So certain practices have been done by many different people, not only by Jains. But it says that fasting purifies mind, body, and also helps to have a spirituality. Not eating after sunset, yeah, definitely for all Jains, monks and nuns, the practice is very common. They don't eat after the sun gets down until the morning when the sun rises up. This is like, again, we have seen many people, even doctors like you also feel comfortable if your stomach is not heavy at the time when you go to the bed. If the stomach is heavy, definitely you will not have a sound sleep. And even after taking the food, if anybody gets sleep, they can't take the much water which is needed to have a proper digestion. So even if you go to the sleep, that definitely the food has to be taken 2 hours before that time period. So properly water can be taken up and the digestive system can work healthily and people can have a good well-being after. So basically these are the main guidelines which have been taken into. And there are different kinds of fasting, partial fasting and many ways of fasting. But ultimately the purpose is the food which supports my spirituality, it's recommended for any people, and commonly that has been practiced.
Thank you.